Damn call, man. Salakia. So let's jump back into it. So it says the false legs, prolegs. The caterpillar has a voracious appetite. It spends most of its life eating. It grows a lot during this phase. Only the outer skin doesn't grow along with the rest of its body. It's like a saggy type of skin, of flesh. Outgrown the skin, the caterpillar's molts, shedding off exoskeleton and replacing it with another. Caterpillars may go through up to 5 molts. The third stage is the cilius or pupa. Caterpillars find a twig and make it home. They may use a wall or other support. The exoskeleton splits and reveals the cystils, and the cystil shell hangs like a sac. And it says inside the shell, the caterpillar breaks down. Just like you say, we got the breakdown. The caterpillar breaks down, okay? The caterpillar goes through a breakdown process, just like the curses. Because what does it say? Straits. Okay, if we go to this right here, it's straits. This is the straits that we're in the middle, right? Okay. And I know I've touched on this before, but I just added a couple more, things to jump into it. So the straits, the confinedness, that's the curses, the going through hardship. All right. And it says it breaks down. Unlike the caterpillar, the pupil eats. It says, unlike the caterpillar, the structure grows through a breakdown process and rearranges its structure, growing a new body, legs, and wings. Unlike the caterpillar, the pupil doesn't eat. It survives on energy from the food eaten during the larva stage. This third step can last for several days to 12 months. There's no time frame on it. It's just it goes through the time that we're in. Just like now, we don't know a time of our change. We don't know the time of the end, but we just going through that. We're breaking down through what? Through the experience and the things that we've gained from our larva stage. The final stage is the birth of an adult butterfly. The chrysalis splits and the butterfly emerges. More adults butterflies live a week or two. Some species have long as 18 months. Okay. But the main thing here is that we going through a larva stage. We're going through a stage of building and breaking down, just like we went through in Egypt. All right. Same thing we're coming through here, but we're going through a deeper metamorphosis, a change. That's what the Lord is coming to change and to fulfill that, because that's just like the Lord showed you in nature. If nature can go through these things, why do you think that he can't make his people? So that's why we're going to emerge this, just like a caterpillar. Just like a caterpillar is nothing like a butterfly. They don't, you wouldn't be able to tell that they're the same species. It's almost like night and day. It's the same thing it's going to be with the Israelites. OK, the Israelites are not going to be what they were, what our Genesis was. We're not going to be the same. Just like there's two differences between these two, is the same thing that we're going to be on a bigger, more wider scale. That means that we're not going to look anything like what we look now. Just like the Lord said, he's going to change our hearts. He's going to give us a new wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about ourselves, and he's going to perfect us. And just like a caterpillar only knows a small area, it can't travel that much. It can't go that far, only as much as its little legs can take it. And there's danger, there's birds, there's all types. It doesn't have much. It's defenseless. Caterpillars are one of the most defenseless. Some will have spikes and some will have different like poisons. But on a wide scale, the caterpillar is a harmless insect. And it says, let's go ahead and pull up these precepts real quick. This is the book of Philippians. This is Philippians 3 and verse 21. Philippians 3 and 21. It says, let's start at verse 20. It says, for our conversation is in heaven. So that's why we talk about these things. An average Christian can't talk about what we're going through or what's getting ready to happen. Why? Because they're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to know what's getting ready to happen. You ask a Christian, they think it's going to be some mystical thing in heaven and that's it. And earth is just done and over with and destroyed. But that's not it. That's not so. The kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. We're going to eat. We're going to enjoy this earth. The earth was made to inhabit. The earth was made to live in and to flourish. OK, it's alive, just like a creature is alive. And it says our conversation is in heaven, for whence also we look for the Savior. That's what we're looking for. So that shows you right there, just like we were looking in the ancient world, waiting on the Messiah. We've always been waiting. We've been in a waiting process. We waited for Yahushua to come. Then he came on the scene and his own people didn't accept him. Then now we're waiting on him again to come back. But this time he's coming back to establish the kingdom of heaven. That's why the disciples asked, will you now restore the kingdom? Will you now put us on top? And he said, no, we couldn't understand it back then. It says, whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who shall change. Who's going to do it? Yahushua is going to do it. Yahushua is going to do it when the elect is beamed up, called in what the world English calls UFO. UFOs, we know them as the chariots of Israel. And the elites know this. For us to be bringing this out, they know that's how they can tell that this is the real truth, because we're bringing things out that were in secret, that just like the story with Elijah. All right. The Elijah was revealed things that were plans that were happening and in secret. That's why the elites are like, damn, this is it. This is the awakening we've been waiting on. And they know prophecy's been being fulfilled. Just like it's written in the stars. They knew that we were going to awake. That's why they were anticipating it. They were preparing for it. Who shall change our vile bodies, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able to even subdue all things unto him. So we're waiting for that change. We've always been waiting for this change. Now we can understand that change a little bit more, because we see technology. We see men flying. We see lasers. We see high level things on the left hand side, which are carnal. So why would the spirit be? The spirit is always better than the carnal. So why would the carnal be better than, or why would the spirit be better than the carnal? This is Romans 8:29. It says, for whom he did foreknew, he also predestinated to be conformed. What is conformed? To change to. Okay. The word conformed, it means what? To have the same form as another, similar, conform to. Same thing as the changing of a caterpillar to a butterfly. Just like Yahushua was Adam, the first Adam. So he was now being changed into a butterfly. He's sitting on the right hand of the Heavenly Father. That's why it says it is done. When he was on that cross, he finished, and the Father raised him up and beautified him. He stayed in that cocoon, that shell, and he stayed in hell, the grave, Shiloh, okay, for that period of time, and then he rose him up. And guess what? He was powerful. After he rose up, that's why he said he expanded the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the disciples for those 40 days. So that's showing you he had more gusto than he did when he was before he went into the catacomb, to the grave. Okay. And it says conform. So we're going to be conformed like him. And we're going through that process. We've been in hell. We've been in low state. We're in that grave, if you want to say the least. We're in that dead state. It says, and he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn of many brethren. So Yahushua is the firstborn of many brethren. So we're going to be changed just like him. We're going to look and move just the same way. That's a beautiful thing. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, he also did, and them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. So we're justified under Yahushua if you're in Yahushua. If you're not in Yahushua, then you have no covering. You're not of his. Then how are you going to be justified? Because you're going under your own way. You're going after the law, which the Lord came to hang the law. He didn't come to do away with it. He came to fulfill it. He fulfilled the law. Now we're getting on to the new covenant, which is going to be placed into our inward parts. The law is already placed in Yahushua. He has that fleshly heart. He's been changed, man. And it says, John 28 and verse 29, that's why it says, I shall not meet thee as a man. He's not coming as a man. He's coming as a force, a power. He's not even a man changed. He's a changed entity when he was called up. He had that new body. He could eat, he could drink. That's why I said, does the spirit eat? When Thomas, he said, man, bring me some food. But guess what? He still had that powerful body, because we're going to be able to eat and drink, but still have an angelic like body that doesn't die. And it says, this is verse 28. Marvel not at this, For the hour is come in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth they that have done good unto resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation, which is judgment. The judgment that's getting ready to come on the planet Earth. It says and then what's that afterwards is the 2/3 will come back through the lineage, through the line, through the sperm, through the genealogy of the elect. That's going to be the royal family. And it says, I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which have sent me. The same thing we're doing. We're not coming after our own will. We can't do it, man. We don't have the gusto. We don't have the juice. Whoever thinks they have the juice, they're mistakenly wrong, man. We have everything through Yahweh. We have 100% truth through Yahweh Shai, because if we be in Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Shai being the Father, what don't we know? Same thing with who taught Paul. Paul didn't have the truth. Paul didn't have 100% truth. He was taught by Yahweh Shai. Was Yahweh Shai lacking? Yahweh Shai didn't know much. No, there's things that he can tell men because they couldn't even bear it. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 43. It says, "It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory." That's the new bodies. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. So power is what we're getting ready to inherit. That's the blessing that was passed down from Isaac. It says we shall have the fatness of the earth. We have dominion. Okay, to have dominion, it takes power. You have a military on the earth. You have militaries on the earth. Yahweh Shai is coming to do away with the militaries, but you got to understand, military, it takes military power. We don't have a military. So how are we going to inherit this earth? It says the saints shall take the kingdom. How are we going to take it? We're going to have power. We're not going to be normal men. We're not going to be some Negroes that they can just Moab or hit you with a warthog. That's what Esau looks at. He doesn't see the spiritual. He knows of it. He knows that it exists on the right hand side, but he's not privy to that because he's a demon. He only sees the right through outside looking in. He's never been and knowing the workings of it. So he knows the left-handed witchcraft, magic, sacrifice to get things and to get that. But he's never tapped into the right-hand side and knows the right is powerful. Just like when Moses and Aaron threw the rod down. OK, when the rod fell, it ate the other snakes. The Magi was able to do magic on the left-hand side. But guess what? The right snake ate, and snakes eat snakes. OK, snakes do eat snakes. I've seen it. I've seen videos and different photos. They eat snakes. Black snakes, they call them king snakes. They eat poisonous snakes. They go hunt poisonous snakes, which the Most High is perfect. So there's not too many poisonous snakes running around. OK, and it says it is sown. It says it is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. OK, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterwards that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthly. The second man is a Lord from heaven, power. As it is earthly, such are they also that are earthly, and as it is heavenly, such as they are also that are heavenly. So we're gonna switch. We're gonna be upgraded. There's gonna be a changing of worlds. Okay, the changing of worlds for the Israelites and the changing of worlds for Esau. Because guess what? He's going into bondo. He's going into judgment. Just like we came in, he has to drink of that cup. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 49. It says, and as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. But this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. So the mindset is that we have to keep hold of that, because we're going to be changed. We're not going to be able to be sniped or shot down or hacked up or blown up, which Esau thinks. The Lord has a tricky bag he's got mixed up for Esau, man. because Esau is not depending. He's not betting on the right hand side of the Lord. He's not betting on the righteousness that's coming from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. He's not. So the Lord is going to show him how the right hand gets down, because the Most High's power is a right hand power. Okay, that's his favorite hand. He's ambidextrous, but that right hand is, woo, that hook. I like my man with the fight coming up. He said, all I need is a hook. And it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. We shall all be changed. Not some, the elect. The elect is going to, because those are the ones that was being spoken to by Paul. Those, the hopeful elect. The ones that aren't in this truth and don't believe, you ain't hoping for a change. You're not hoping for a change. You're hoping to be here in Babylon and do whatever you want to do. But you're not hoping for that change. This is Colossians 3 and verse 4. And it says, when Mashiach, who is our life, he's our life. We live with him. We're dead in this world, but we live with Mashiach. When he comes, we shall be revealed with him. It says, when Mashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, in Nordic affection, evil, contemptuous, and covetousness, which is idolatry. So all these things, which is left-hand side, put them away. Put them away and come to the understanding Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Isaiah 25 and verse 8. And it reads, it says, he shall swallow up death and victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For the Lord has spoken it. And that's what you're going to see. No one's going to talk about Jake. Jake is about to be the top notch of the whole planet Earth. We're about to rule. And it's going to be a beautiful rulership. It's going to be forever. Forever, ever. This is for Matthew 22 and verse 29. And it reads, Yahushua answered and said unto them, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Yahweh. They don't know what's getting ready to happen. The Lord finna show out, man. The Most High says, thou power that hides thyself. They've been watching the earth being, the Most High ain't done nothing. He ain't lifted up, man. Watch what he does. He's finna transform and make mighty men. And who's going to be able to stop? And it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, man. This is Ephesians 1 and verse 20, which it says, which he wrought in Mashiach when he raised him from the dead. The Yahweh did that, man.